And now we'll read the I plant corn section of this chapter. And if you look at the page that I'm about to read from, there is a picture of George Naylor on it, so you can imagine what the guy that Michael Pollan's working with looks like. He's the farmer that he's working with. I plant corn. The day I showed up at the farm was supposed to be the only dry one all week, and George was trying to get his last 160 acres of corn planted. A week or two later, he'd start in on the soybeans. The soybean has become the second major crop in the industrial food chain, taking turns each year in the field with corn. It now finds its way into 2/3 of all processed foods. For most of the afternoon, I sat on a rough cushion George had made me from crumpled seed bags. After a while, he let me take the wheel. We drove back and forth across the field, half a mile in each direction. Every pass across this field, which is almost perfectly flat, represents another acre of corn planted. The corn seed we were planting looked like regular kernels of corn, but it was actually something called Pioneer Hybrid 34H31. You and I think of corn as corn, but farmers like Naylor know that there are dozens of varieties, most created by large agribusiness companies. That's one of the reasons corn has succeeded so well. It's relatively easy for humans to breed new types of corn to fit our needs. But what's good for corn and agribusiness isn't always good for farmers. That's the case with the new types of corn seed. Back when George's grandfather started farming, farmers grew their own seed. That's the way farmers had always gotten their seed. They just kept some of the crop to be planted for the next season. Then, in the 1930s, seed companies came up with a new kind of corn seed, hybrid corn. A hybrid is a plant or animal whose parents have different traits. For example, you might take a type of corn that resists disease and cross it with another type of corn that produces a lot of ears. The result is a hybrid, a disease-resistant plant that produces a lot of corn. Sounds good, right? The catch is that hybrid corn does not come true. The first crop planted from hybrid corn seed will all be identical. The plants will have all the good traits the seed company promised, but the children of that crop will be mixed. Some plants will be like their hybrid parents, but most will not. The only way to make sure your plants produce the same amount of corn, that they have the same yield as the original hybrid, is to buy new seed every year from a seed company. Hybrid corn quadrupled the yields of farmers from about 20 bushels per acre to about 80 bushels per acre. This was the beginning of a major change in the way farmers operated and the way we get our food. In a way, it was the beginning of the industrial food chain. The secret of modern corn hybrids is that they can be planted very close together. Before hybrids, a farmer could plant 8,000 corn plants in an acre. Today, George can grow 30,000 plants in an acre. Hybrids have been bred for thicker stalks and stronger root systems, the better to stand upright in a crowd. This also makes it possible to harvest them with large machines. Basically, the plants live in a city of corn, crowded together in neat rows. New hybrids have increased the farm yields to about 180 bushels per acre. One bushel holds 56 pounds of kernels, so 180 bushels is slightly more than 10,000 pounds of food per acre. The field George and I planted that day would produce 1.8 million pounds of corn. Not bad for a day's work sitting down, I thought to myself. So there's a little sticky note on this page. It says, how big is a bushel? 1 bushel of corn is 56 pounds of kernels. That's about the size of an extra large bag of dog food. Okay, that finishes that section, and I'll see you back for frankenseeds.